Welcome to From the Couch, Sports Talk Radio, the true definition of armchair quarterbacks. The two brothers express their highly inaccurate opinions about sporting news from chairs. Wait, they don't even have a couch? That's a dumb title. Anyhow. The views expressed by the hosts are only opinions, and any stated facts are purely coincidental. Sit back and enjoy yourself. Now, here are your hosts, Jeff and Dave.
Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday night From the Couch Football Roundtable. We're going to start with what we like to call our fastest 2 minutes in sports. And up first, I'm going to give it to Sean. Sean, give me your 2 minutes.
All right. Number one, I would like to see if any of our guests and viewers would like to come on tonight and possibly play Jeopardy. We had one person fall out, so we need a third. Okay, so tonight, my 2 minutes, it's about NFL ticket pricing and just how crazy it's gotten in the last couple of years. In 2020, to take a family of four to a football game costs on average $630. This year, the average ticket price for an NFL game, one ticket, was $377. In the last 10 years, 7 new stadiums have been built. 5 of them have cut out seats to the tune of 71,000 seats have been removed to make way for luxury boxes. That's over 14,000 per stadium. So this has kind of gotten out of control where football is, I wish it would brings back some cheap seats, make it available for us fans who could possibly, maybe you can go to one game. But right now to spend $1,000 taking a family of 4 to a game is unrealistic. The top 5 ticket prices last year, the Las Vegas Raiders was $582, followed by the Chiefs at $578, Eagles $559, Cowboys $545, Patriots $534. On the low end, the cheapest was the Atlanta Falcons at $225. Houston, Texas at $236, Cardinals $250, Tampa Bay $263, and the Titans at $265. I can't imagine spending that kind of money to watch any of those teams. And then the last thing is that these stadiums are paid for by us taxpayers in most cases, or part of them. The problem is they're not generating enough tax revenue to complete refurbishment or replacements of them. So we're giving all this money to these billionaires for free stadiums, and then we're getting the short end of the stick. We're not even generating the tax revenue we should. So, I realize NFL, does our, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have our show. But it's gotten a little crazy, and I think that maybe NFL needs to calm down a little bit.
All righty. Let's go with you, Eric. I hear you got some slides and stuff to show us. Give us your 2 minutes, my friend.
All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody. So we come on and we have competitive banter. And if you see our group chat, we have competitive.
You got to put up his slide, the first set of slides.
Yes, please.
Ways to win.
Where are they? I don't see
We have
slides.
competitive banter every Tuesday. So I prepared something for those of you because we'd like you to come on and you get tired of hearing me tell you that Josh Allen isn't elite in the fourth quarter. And
I only see Eric's slide, or I only see Sean's slides. I don't see Eric's slides.
No, it'll be on. It's my first set of slides. It'll say it'll be ways to win.
Oh, okay.
And you're killing this whole bit.
Yep, he's killing my bit. Just like every Tuesday when I try to tell you, bring you logic here on From the Couch Sports Talk Radio. But we want you all to come in here. So I prepared something to help you all prepare moving forward for the competitive banter, and it's quite simple.
No, that's my rebuttal to Eric.
Oh,
That's a great picture, by the way.
Ways to win a debate.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Jeez.
It really isn't that hard.
Nobody prepped me.
Obviously it is.
Okay, so if we could go on to the next slide, boys. And we're going to start with KD, who's not here. But as you know, KD and the Ravens can't beat the Steelers, so all you need to bring up is Kenny Pickett and Lamar's record against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's how you beat KD in a debate. Sean, it's quite simple. When he's already doing this when we talk Josh Allen on a weekly basis, but just give him a beer. Nice, he'll be your best friend. David, as you can tell, struggles with technology. Also, a common theme is he thinks we type too fast. So if you're ever debating Dave, just make sure you type fast. And last but not least, Jeff. I do it on a weekly basis, just to remind him of the facts. And that is my fastest 2 minutes with you all today.
Okay, now you can put up the slide that says Eric. Because look at this guy. He's got a toothpick. He's got a toothpick with a couple of Cheerios on it. And he's posted this on Facebook. Now, if you're going to take advice from this guy, you're out of your mind. Okay, get that slide out of here. Dave, go with your 2 minutes.
All righty. Okay. I'll give you my 2 minutes. My good friend Eric here had to stir the pot again like he does on a daily, hourly, minutely basis. So he started talking nonsense about Stephon Diggs because a reporter asked a question about Stephon Diggs and his future with the Bills. And all the guy said was, it is not in my control. I am going to be ready to do what I always do, and that is I am ready to play football. Whether it's in Buffalo or somewhere else, I have zero control over what happens to me, which is 100% fact. He's not being a diva. He's tired of answering the same questions that reporters ask him constantly, because he had a bad couple weeks at the end of the season. He wasn't as productive. Buffalo fired their offensive coordinator. The new offensive coordinator came in, tried to start running an offense that was more balanced, more run-orientated, trying to get these guys open. And it just so happened that there were times that Stephon Diggs was targeted and he dropped the ball. There were just some times where Stephon Diggs was not the best option at a wide receiver, and he found his tight end, or he found his second option, or sometimes his third option, which again goes to the Josh Allen argument of only having one read and not being able to do certain things. Well, he did do that, and he matured later on in the season with an offensive coordinator who allowed them to play to their strengths. That being said, there are issues that Stephon Diggs will not go anywhere because I don't think it's cost effective for him to go anywhere as a Buffalo Bill player right now. I just don't think he can go. I don't think his contract allows it to, and I don't think Buffalo would be smart to do that. But more importantly, wide receivers, they're divas anyway. There are wide receivers in this league who get upset when they don't get the ball. Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. So that happens. And some wide receivers, unlike Stephon Diggs, make their feelings known week in and week out by their on the field, shall we say, attitude, George Pickens. And so, again, what happens with Stephon Diggs? Stephon Diggs is going to be fine. Stephon Diggs is going to be in Buffalo. He's not going to go anywhere. And so there's no story other than a story that the media wants to talk about, because there's really, other than the Super Bowl, there's not a lot of news to talk about. So that's just where it is. And again, if Stephon Diggs goes somewhere, it would surprise me, but that's business. That's the life of pro football business. And I will say one other thing. There's another wide receiver who's a fantastic wide receiver who's really not too happy where he's at right now. And that's A.J. Brown. He ain't happy in Philly right now. So we'll see. He's had a little bit of an issue with Philadelphia at the last couple weeks of the season. So we'll find out what's what. So anyway, that's my 2 minutes. That's my 2 cents. And so now what I would like to do is we're going to get ready to play Jeopardy. And today we have a couple guests. First up, we got Eric's good friend and soon to be our good friend. We got Trey down in the bottom corner there.
Hey.
How you doing, Trey?
Now,
Doing good, fellas. How are you all doing?
doing well. And now for our next contestant. She hails from Houston, Texas. She's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. We can't help her with her taste. But anyway, we got Miss Sarah McGee. Sarah, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Sarah.
No problem. So, this background really sucks. I got to take care of it because I'm blending in and my face is disappearing. So,
You have a
Sean,
floating head.
I'm going
None of us might see that.
I'm going to let you start off the show here, and I'll just put my regular background up. Hey, Jane, welcome to the show. How are you tonight, Miss Wick? So, anyway, Sean, I'm going to send it over to you because you are our Jeopardy. You are Alex Trebek, I guess.
Alrighty. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. We have 4 categories, and we're just going to run down each category. And I'm going to make a tick mark for our rookies, which are going to be Trey and Sarah. And then our pros are going to be Eric and David. Now, if you can't answer a question, the other team will get a chance to answer it. So we're going to go first question to you, the rookies, second question to the pros. All right. So here we go. Football Jeopardy. Okay. Our first category is winners and losers, and then we'll move on to highs and lows. Who's my QB this week? And then across the pond is our final category. All right. For our rookies, one of 2 teams with 8 come from behind victories in 2023. You have 15 seconds to talk about it and come up with an answer.
Ooh, okay. 8 come from behind victories. That's wild.
That is wild.
So top teams that come off my head, probably totally wrong. I'm thinking Niners. I'm thinking they gotta have at least 8 wins. So 8 plus.
Okay. That time is up. You guys need to give me an answer.
You rock out, Sarah. You got it.
I'd go with the Niners as well.
Let's go.
Okay. It is not. They are not one of the teams with 8 comebacks in the season. To our pros, Eric and David, you got a chance to steal a point. 15 seconds. Talk now and give me an answer.
I'd say the Steelers and the Bills.
Got one of them.
Bills is a good one.
I got the Bills, and I've got the Ravens.
All right. Time's up. I need an answer.
Go ahead, Eric.
Bills and Ravens.
You are wrong. You should have listened to David.
Oh, my word.
Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. Both
And you're a
had 8
Steelers
from
fan?
behind.
Bro, I didn't realize we're down 8 times.
You should have known that. Y'all aren't that good. My bad. Go ahead.
All right, so 0 on that one. Now we go to the pros. The team that lost the most games in 2023 while leading at some point during the game. They blew the lead 10 times. 15 seconds, discuss, and go.
Wow, this is a tough one. They lost 10 times? Is that what
Well,
happened?
having a lead. Got 3 seconds. You and David. All right, time's up. What do you guys come up with?
I've got the Tennessee Titans.
That's good.
Okay,
Yeah,
final answer.
I'll go with the Titans.
Okay, wrong. Our rookies. 15 seconds to discuss. Go.
What you
I
think, Sarah?
actually think I know this one because this was a team that they weren't supposed to do anything this year, and then they kept keeping games close and keeping them exciting and making you think that they were going to pull the upset, and that's the Cardinals.
Good.
Okay,
I
is
like
that your
that.
final
I'm gonna
answer?
rock with it. Yes.
Our rookies have taken the lead. The Arizona Cardinals.
Yes!
Whoa.
Very nice. Okay, so now we are back to our rookies. Here we go. The 2 teams that were shut out twice during 2023. You got 15 seconds starting now.
All right. I'm just gonna think on the top of my head the worst teams. In the league, the Panthers. What would you say?
Yeah, gotta be the
team?
Panthers.
We have to think of one more team, real quick.
Were the not the maybe Titans?
Whatever you're gonna say, we're gonna go with Panthers and whatever you said.
I said the Titans.
Oh, the Patriots. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, the Patriots. Oh, wait. Well, we haven't locked in our answer. So yeah, the Panthers.
Final
and the
answer.
Patriots.
You are correct. Rookies take a 2-0 lead from our pros. All right, pros. The division with all teams above 500 this year.
Easy.
Oh, that's easy. AFC North.
That's easy.
It's over. AFC North. Give me the point.
Yeah.
All right, back to our rookies. One of the two teams who went down by 21 points this year came back to win 31-28.
This is just regular season, right?
Regular season.
I'm lost.
Didn't the Lions do that at least once?
I wouldn't be doubt, so we're gonna go Lions.
Yeah, because we only need to name one of the two teams, right?
Yep. We only need to name
Yeah.
one of them.
Oh, one. Okay, yeah.
Okay, final answer.
Sarah's.
Yeah, I'd go with Lions.
Wrong.
Oh.
Pros. You got 15 seconds starting now.
So, Dave, we're a team here, so we have to work together for the first
Yeah, I
time.
know.
So, I'm thinking Dallas. What do you think of Dallas?
I was thinking Dallas. Weren't they down and then they came back and won that game against Philly or something? They were down and then they came back and won. It's going to be Dallas.
Final answer.
Let's do it, Eric.
Dallas.
Wrong.
Was it the Cardinals?
The New York Giants beat the Cardinals.
What?
Yeah,
They were down by 21. And the Broncos came back, and who did they went down by 21?
Was that the Dolphins?
Whoa. I'm terrible at this today.
All right, so our rookies are leading 2-1, and now the next highs and lows start with the pros.
I just got to say one thing. Alex, your questions suck.
Now,
I remember that.
pay attention.
They're
Hey, 3 out of 5 were answered.
good.
Okay, so to the pros. Yeah, exactly. The team
Dolphins.
scored the most points in the 2023 regular season. You have 15 seconds, pros now.
Oh, damn! I thought it was us.
Hey, Dave, who do you think scored the most points? Miami?
Was it Miami or was it Baltimore? Because they went on a big run at the
I
end.
think Baltimore. I'll go Baltimore.
I'm going to
Okay,
say
is that your
Baltimore.
final answer?
Baltimore?
No. Rookies,
Can we go Miami?
you're up.
Or
Yeah.
the Niners? But I'd say Miami.
Thanks for crossing that off because I was going to say Baltimore as well. So yeah, we'll go Miami.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, you all missed that one.
Damn.
That was the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
Dang.
I said
look where that got them.
Okay,
Yes,
to our
Dallas.
rookies. Here we go. Question 2 in highs and lows. The two teams that scored the least points in the 2023 regular season. Start. Got 15 seconds.
I mean, I almost want to go back to the two teams that got goose eggs, the Panthers and the Patriots.
I agree. I'd agree.
Okay, final answer. Is
Which
it
one?
not your final answer?
Yep.
Sure.
Panthers.
You are correct.
Did they get double points for both of the answers?
Well, you were supposed to know something, man. Okay, so this goes to the pros. The team that scored the least touchdowns in 2023. You got 15 seconds.
Wow. Least touchdowns.
It's got to be the Panthers, right? They
Yeah,
scored.
they're the lowest scoring team. Either them or the Patriots.
Hey, which one do you want, Dave?
It's a gimme.
You pick this one.
Okay, need your final answer.
Oh, bro. Let's go Patriots.
Wrong. Rookies, you get a chance to steal. 15 seconds
Go
starting
ahead.
now.
Opposite. You want to go Panthers?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's roll with it.
Okay, final answer.
Yep.
Yes.
Panthers.
You guys are wrong.
Damn.
It was the Steelers.
It's the Jets.
Oh,
The New York Jets scored
when in
the
doubt,
Oh.
when
I
in
was
doubt,
only
you
scored
bet on the Steelers.
They only scored 22. And by the way, Patriots and Panthers tied at 236 points. The Jets just had a crap load of field goals. All right. So we go to our rookies. Out of the 3 teams that were able to score a kick return TD this year, this team did it twice. 15 seconds.
I think the Colts had a couple, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to you. I'm completely drawing a blank.
I'm gonna go with the hometown team, Indianapolis Colts. Why not?
It was not them. Pros, 15 seconds.
What do we got, Dave?
Man, I'm trying to think. Who got a kick return for a touchdown? Did the Jets do it?
We're gonna have to throw something out here real quick. Still returning kicks.
I know the Bills had one. The Jets had one. I'll go to the Jets.
No, it was the Houston Texans.
Oh.
I mean, that was a hard one right there.
Yeah,
That was a tough one. All right, so here we go to our pros. The team who threw the least interceptions in 2023. They only threw 6.
Only threw
Pros.
Well, can you figure out 6? But it ain't him. Trubisky threw like 1 million.
Was it Houston? Stroud didn't have a lot of interceptions this year.
Need your answer.
Houston.
No.
Rookies. Well, I can tell you, it definitely wasn't the Bills. Josh Allen loves throwing.
Oh, no, it was.
I'll tell you that much.
All right, you guys got 15 seconds.
Two was kind of efficient. I would say Miami's up there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Patty. That's my guy, but definitely not him.
Okay, I need a final answer, guys.
Just throw a team out there, Sarah.
Let's go with Dallas because I know Dak was super low this year.
He was close. He was 8.
Oh.
The Ravens. Lamar only threw
all he does is
6
run.
Picks all year. Hence
Yeah,
why
he's a running back. Right?
No, he's not, Eric. Stop being disrespectful. You're being disrespectful. Quit it.
Yeah, but hang on. Why was that not talked about more?
Yeah,
really?
That is so true. And that's why he's going to be MVP.
I mean, if you said who threw 6 touchdowns, we all would have known the answer to that one.
Oh,
I know that's right.
Wow. All right, so let's move on to who's my QB this week. All right, rookies. He filled in for an injured Geno Smith.
Oh, that's an easy one.
I forgot his name. I
Drew Lock.
I know his ethnicity.
It was
10
Drew
seconds.
Lock, right?
Drew Lock.
Yeah, Drew Lock.
Thank you.
Final answer?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is Drew Lock.
Okay.
Good job, Sarah. Sarah carrying us.
God, you pros suck.
Thank you. When in doubt, go with the joke.
You're getting all the easy
I'm
ones.
talking about this.
Okay. Well, let's see if you guys can get this one.
He was a quarterback for the Broncos, so that's the only one. Yeah.
There you go.
I remember him for rapping Jay-Z on the sideline. Go ahead.
This QB started for 2 different teams in 2023.
Oh, this is easy.
That's easy.
Go ahead, Eric.
Dobbs.
Yeah.
Correct.
Josh Dobbs.
All right, rookies, back to you.
2 gimmies.
The only 2 teams in the AFC that did not start a backup QB in 2023.
Chiefs and Ravens.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Ravens.
Did Huntley play one game?
Did he? Lamar wasn't hurt at all this year.
Yeah, you're right. KC and Ravens.
Yeah.
Wrong. Pros.
Oh.
Bills, Ravens.
Bills.
Or no, Bills.
Oh.
Not Bills.
No, Bills and KC. Bills
Bills
KC.
and Chiefs. It's Bills,
Bills
and
and Chiefs, not the Ravens, because Huntley
Yeah,
started.
I meant to say Bills and Chiefs.
Yes. Dave,
Final answer.
You are both wrong.
KC started a backup?
Buffalo and Miami.
Casey.
No. That's wrong. That's wrong. I watched
No,
every game this
you
year.
wait, Missy. You wait. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, wait.
I love it. I'm about to fact
Casey
check
Turner
that
back
one.
up in week 17.
Okay. Pros.
I feel like all 3 of those teams did it. But
This
go ahead.
backup for the Chargers started 4 games and lost them all.
Nah, that's all you said. Yep.
Easton Stick.
Is that final answer?
Yes. He about beat Buffalo. It was close.
It is. Okay, rookies. This is the moment we've been waiting for. He started for the Kansas City Chiefs. Great Googling movie in Week 18.
Chad Henne, damn it.
Chad Henne is still playing?
No. Sorry. That was I keep having like anything can happen stuck in my head. Shit. Who's our backup this year? It's not Blake Bortles, is it?
I can't tell you the answer.
Wow.
5, 4.
I watched it's Blake Bortles, but I watched that game.
Sean, is it Blake Bortles?
Final answer?
Sure.
What's your final answer?
Sean Mannion, wasn't it? Who was it?
It is. Oh, now pros get a chance to steal. You guys get tied up in 4 apiece.
Dave, who is it?
Was it Sean Mannion?
No. Oh, no. Sure.
Was it Mannion?
Andy Reid.
No, who the hell who is
Bro,
that?
he couldn't even walk onto the field at this point.
Wasn't Trevor Simeon, was it?
I like that little Jay.
I don't think so.
Okay, need a final answer. What's your final answer?
That's the only name I can think of.
If this is Blake Bortles, I'm going to be so mad.
No, it wasn't Blake Bortles. He don't play no more.
No. Okay, what's your final answer?
Mannion.
Mitch Trubisky has a job. He should.
No.
Shit.
Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert. Oh, bro.
They're pretty much the same guy, though. Can we at least get half
That's
credit?
the thing. That's the thing,
same.
right? Yeah. That's
Pretty
why
much.
I was like, Chad Henne, Blake Bortles, Blaine Gabbert. They're literally the same person.
Potato at this point.
Blaine Gabbert has been around forever. He was the
I
guy
know,
that
I
did
freaking
job
forgot.
over
I totally
Okay.
forgot. And I watched
We have.
That is embarrassing. I watched that.
We're up there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you are winning 5-4. Now, these last 5 questions, it goes pro, rookie, pro, rookie, pro. The pros can tie it up because they have 3 questions. You guys only have 2. If it's tie, I go to the tiebreaker question, and we'll just keep guessing until someone wins.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. This is from across the pond. The song is sang in London after the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, that's all y'all.
Holy crap. I'm
Oh,
American.
God Save the Queen. God Save the Queen. That's what it is. It's God Save the Queen.
I defer.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes, final answer.
Wrong.
I don't know why I'm so
rookies?
excited because I don't know either.
I don't know. Where art thou? Where art thou? That's because I don't know where this answer is at all.
What's the London national or the England national anthem?
Biscuits and gravy. I have no idea.
Sure. Yeah, it's biscuits and gravy. That's absolutely
There
what
we
they
go.
sing.
Final answer. Okay. It is God Save the King.
It was the Queen.
Oh,
Oh, season.
That is,
Oh, crap.
that is a technicality.
The Queen.
I'm
was
American.
It is not
I'm
a
100%
technicality.
Horse shit.
Okay.
I'm going to protest Alex Trebek.
Rookies.
Your mother sings
Listen,
the
the
damn
Queen was
song.
alive for 90.
God
some-
save your mother, Alex.
Oh. Okay. Here we go. This song, the song they like to sing in London during a break in the game.
Sweet home Alabama. I don't know.
There was a lot of no. There was a lot of the song that they "Take Me Home, Country Roads." They sing that, and then there's clips of them singing "Sweet Caroline." But
Sweet Caroline's a good one too, but I don't know. I'm gonna defer to you.
All right, we're going to need a final answer on that
yeah,
one.
Caroline's
I'm gonna go. Take me home, country roads. What's the name of that song? Is it "Take Me Home, Country Roads"?
Yeah.
You're talking to an African American male. I have no idea.
That's gonna be my guess. Watch it be "Sweet Caroline." That's gonna be my guess. Final
You
answer.
were wrong. Pros, you can steal.
So which one did they say? Where John
I'm not telling you.
Sweet Caroline. They said
We
Country
said-
Road. So
They
it's
Something
Sweet
about
said
Caroline.
Kodak's
Country
right.
Roads.
If they said Country Roads, it's Sweet Caroline because they sang
Sweet
that.
Caroline. Final answer.
Sweet Caroline is correct.
Fudge.
Damn it!
Fudge.
Oh.
All right. The team who was both the home team and visiting team in
Jacksonville
London
Jaguars,
in 2023.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Final answer.
Okay, you are correct.
Yeah, look
All
out.
right.
No.
Okay.
Man, we need this
Rookies, have faith, have faith. the song they like to sing in Germany during a break in the game?
That's Country Roads. That's Country Roads.
Talk about one country I don't want to talk about.
That's Country Roads. Final answer. It's Country Roads.
Rookies have tied it up.
Yes, Sarah. Let's go.
I was going to say roll out the barrel, but whatever.
All right, here's the last question. Can the Pros win? This is a toughie. The 3 stadiums that hosted NFL games in 2023 in Europe. The stadiums.
There's Trotterham, Wembley. Is it Wembley Stadium still? Wembley, and what's the one in Germany? Oh shit, I forget the German one. Freaking
Warwick. It's something with a B, isn't it?
All right, I need a final answer out of you guys.
Dave, give the 2 you got.
Trotterham, Wembley, and
I think it's B.
Braunschweig Stadium. I don't know. It sounds German. Wiener Schnitzel Stadium. There you go. 2 out of the 3 ain't bad.
No.
Okay.
Rookies.
Okay, so Barwick is right. I'm pretty sure. And I forgot the 2 that he said.
It's
Wembley.
Wembley for sure.
He drinks wine and he doesn't know things.
I don't. I just come home and chill, bro. My brain is supposed to be disconnected at this point.
I hear you. Don't blame you.
All right, we're gonna need a final answer out of you guys.
Okay, so I know it's Wembley and I know it's Tottenham.
Yeah, isn't it?
And they played in Frankfurt, Germany.
Yeah.
Was it Frankfurt Stadium? Like, was that
your final answer?
What was the one that you said, Trey?
I said Barwick because I'm pretty sure I know the Patriots played there years ago.
Well,
yeah, but they change them every year, and I think this year it was because I remember Tottenham.
All right, Sarah, go with yours. Go with your Sarah.
And I don't because I feel like I remember some weird German like stadium name.
All I know is
your answer.
Morgan.
I think it was Frankfurt Stadium. Yeah, Tottenham, Wembley, and Frankfurt.
The Rookies have won.
Yeah!
Holy shit!
I call horseshit on that.
6-5.
We're gonna
nice going. And
that's it
for you guys winning. We just need to get your information. So get Trey, get yours over to Eric, and Sarah, get it over to either Dave or somebody. Yeah. We're going to be sending you from the couch T-shirts.
Yes. I've been dying for one of those.
Them.
And now we're bringing in the man, the myth, the legend, KD Arrington. What's happening, KD?
I'm so much of a myth, I missed the entire Jeopardy game.
Yeah.
It was a good one, too.
I seen it was a good one. Hey, I want to recount, by the way. I know Sean's from Florida.
Yeah, Sean's math is wrong. He said
no, man.
We were
New York.
We were up 4.
New York, we know our digits. And real quick, the tiebreaker question, if anyone just wants to go for the tiebreaker, what team punted the most in 2023? 99 times.
No idea.
Punted the most? I will say my guess will be Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, some team that stinks.
Wrong.
Pittsburgh.
I didn't ask you, Alex. Alex Bubba.
It was the New York Jets punted 99 times last year.
That makes sense.
So did you have a backup tiebreaker? Because what if neither one of us would have gotten that one?
You guys were just going to keep going back and forth, guessing teams until someone finally said the Jets.
Gotcha.
Hey, that's the only way you're going to win anything, Sean.
6-5. I will say, had KD had been there, I think we would have. I think the Pros may have gotten something because David is.
Well, hold on. We had the lead and we choked at the end. That's very Buffalo Bills.
It's very Pittsburgh Steelerish of us.
Very.
The Steelers don't choke. They don't have an opportunity to choke.
Oh, that's true.
Well, but thank you guys for being on and being good sports about this. We plan on doing this a couple times a year, and get us your information and, of course, your shirt size, and we will get you some of our swag. And KD, can you roll that?
Can you what?
Etsy shop.
Oh, you need the banner?
Yeah, throw that up there, and then
There you go.
And then I apologize.
Right on the bottom of the screen. If you want to get a T-shirt or a hoodie or a hat, go to ftcsportstalkradio.etsy.com
Nice.
for all of our FTC swag.
Go
And that's
get
all
it.
we got. So all three
Go
things.
get it.
That's our swag.
All right. And we actually are 10 minutes ahead of time on my schedule.
Oh,
So cool. Now we're on the Super Bowl
Wait,
talk.
so then what we'll do is, because Katie came in late, we all had our 2 minutes to banter and chat, Katie. And I don't know if you had a topic you wanted to talk about, whether it's meeting my brother and realizing that was a mistake. But I'm going to let you go. I'm going to give you your 2 minutes to chat.
Well, I'll make it short and sweet, man. Look, a lot of people like to think, we have a long time here on the earth in our lives. So I think it was kind of refreshing to actually sit down and talk with somebody that I met over the internet, and he wasn't a total creep. So even though he was kind of odd, walking up to him, he's a pretty chill dude. So I don't regret it, at least not yet, until he shows up to my house randomly at like 2:00 in the morning. So I definitely appreciate Jeff taking the time to come and meet me and my wife Jennifer. So I'm super appreciative for that. So not worried too much about football because obviously my Ravens lost, but hey, it is what it is. I watched the game this week. It would just be for the commercials, if nothing else. So.
Now, I do want to say one thing that I noticed that the Ravens had, 3 losses this year? Well, 2 that really mattered. Or was it 3 or 4? How many did they lose this year?
They lost 3, and then they lost the 4th one to Pittsburgh in the last week.
So the one that didn't matter to Pittsburgh was because they didn't play any of their – they played their third string. But I noticed 2 out of the 3 losses that the Ravens had, Katie didn't show up on the show the following week, and I was just wondering if that was a pattern.
That's complete horse.
If you go back
and look at the tape, I showed up every time.
I know, I'm kidding.
I feel like no matter who you play, it's hard to be the dream.
And look, if you notice, I didn't come back on some Lamar Jackson rant either. I didn't spend 18 minutes talking about Lamar Jackson.
That's very true.
I'm all there for it.
Ooh,
That's
that was
my guy.
a dig. That was a dig.
That guy.
In case you missed that, Dave. That was a dig.
All right.
At your Josh Allen diatribes.
There's nothing wrong with that when that guy up in the corner starts his crap. Anyway, let's start talking. Let's start talking some Super Bowl. Let's get into the Super Bowl because I'm telling you, this matchup really is not the matchup I thought I was going to see. I did not think, for 2 reasons. I did not really think that Kansas City had the firepower to keep up with the Ravens defense. And the only thing that I want to say about it, and I'll give it to everybody else, is this. Whoever, Todd Monken? If I was John Harbaugh, I'd have fired his ass right after the game. How do you run 6 times with your running backs? You have the number 1 running team in football, and you run 6 times on a team that has one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. So, Trey, that's all I have to say. I'm going to let you talk first.
I just want to say one thing. I'm all for putting all the blame on Todd Monken and the scheme that they ran, but I have to put a little bit of blame on Lamar Jackson. Where was your authenticity throughout that whole game? I saw several pockets open for him to go through and just do what he does. And I saw hesitation there. And also another thing, why didn't we get OBJ in active within the passing game early? You saw in the second half he had some momentum going, but it's too little, too late. I mean, they really should have did a lot better. Todd Monken will be fired. I don't see him sticking around. But Lamar, he had a lot of hesitation for him. He wasn't the same guy that we saw in the previous game. That guy has something God-gifted that not everybody had. Nobody in NFL history has had. And you can put Michael Vick in that pedestal, but Lamar Jackson has an ability that not a lot of people have. I saw too much hesitation there, and it's a team game, so you have to put it on the whole team. But within the scheme of only running 6 times, Lamar Jackson being hesitant, and then not getting the right players active in the passing game, Isaiah Likely had a great game previously. But why do we put this guy on such a high pedestal beforehand? Put the veterans in there. Todd Monken, run the damn ball. Lamar, do what you do. You see a different outcome, but hey, one thing you don't do is bet against Patty Mahomes. That's all I gotta say.
All righty. Katie, I'm going to let you respond to that because you are our resident Raven expert. So I'm going to let you respond and tell me your thoughts on the Ravens game plan and what they did right, wrong, or indifferent.
First off, Todd Monken is never going to get fired.
True. I just said he should.
Never going to get fired. If you go look at their offensive numbers throughout the season, one game doesn't dictate your success or failure as an offensive coordinator. Next. I agree with the whole game plan, right? Even if it wasn't the game plan, it was the adjustment piece for me. So for instance, if you guys noticed, the defense adjusted properly to where Kansas City didn't get any points in the second half. It was the offense that wet the bed for the most part. And for people sitting back and saying, hey, okay, look, you can run the ball this many times and so forth. If we look the game prior, how many yards did the Bills run on them? So it's a little bit more than just running it on them. You got to put the ball in the end zone.
Sure.
Because the magic number was 20. The first team to get to 20 points was probably going to shake the game open when it comes down to Kansas City basically saying, hey, look, we don't have the high-power offense this year to go out and get 25, 30 points consistently, right? So that was the magic recipe. However, the Ravens offense said, okay, look, we think we can just go out and do what we want to do. And they didn't realize, hey, those guys were really good, sticky defenders when they come down to running up the seams and so forth and so on. So the thing that you could have done to attack them was implement your RPO game. Reason being because Willie Gay was out. So there's nobody, if you guys seen it, the announcer was trying to give it away, saying, hey, there's nobody to spot Lamar Jackson, truthfully. Now, what's his name? Chenal was trying to do the best he could. Whether it's George Kaloftis, he was trying to come in and do what he needs to do, which they basically beat up our tackles. I'm not going to take anything away from them. So if that was the case, it should have been, hey, okay, look, we're going to go lead, we're going to go dive, and basically we're going to say, hey, look, once we get to the second level where there's no Willie Gay, all we got to do is put a hat on Bolton, and then now we break the game open. However, I'm not the offensive coordinator, so it is what it is. So I'm off of the game itself because again, to me that was a fundamental loss. It was simple. It's football 1-on-1, 11 hats on 11 hats, and I just think we kind of let Kansas City get into the element, and we never took them out of it. So
now, Katie, I just want to ask you one question. Do you think Todd Monken tried to outcoach himself? Do you think he tried to come? Do you think that he took?
You got to understand. Okay, you got to understand how long has Monken been out of the NFL, and even when he was in the NFL, it was a different type of offense that he had. The type of offense that he had was with who? Tampa Bay and Cleveland. So again, he hasn't had a quarterback that's supposed to run the ball. Again, like Trey was saying, you have a dynamic guy. If stuff hits the fan, okay, I don't want him to do it all the time, but he should be able to scamper to give me 6 or 7 yards on against the sticks every time. And if he puts me in the plus, I'm cool with that because now that's another element to the point to where, hey, if you're playing 6-man boxes, right, and I got 5 linemen and I got a running back and I got my quarterback, that's 6 versus 7. You'll never win that matchup if you're putting a hat on a hat. But that's the thing, though. Again, you have to realize that and you have to take advantage of that.
So let me have this real quick. So Baltimore lost 3 games by 17-10, correct? Through the year. And is that correct?
I believe so.
It's 2. They didn't lose.
That should have been a Jeopardy question.
Yeah, they lost 3. They lost both the games against Pittsburgh and the Kansas
Maybe y'all would have won.
But yeah, so
okay, yeah.
So
if you count the playoffs, yes. If you count the playoffs,
count the playoffs. So
okay.
So Kansas City employed the game plan to frustrate Lamar, and I think they did a good job of that. And I think honestly, I didn't think they could without the edge rushers, but they pulled it off. They mixed their coverages up at the last minute. They threw a lot of things Lamar wasn't expecting, and the best laid plans of mice and men, We know what happened. And so just moving forward, I think that's the blueprint is not to try to beat Baltimore 31-28, beat them 17-10. And so honestly, Kansas City did a good job. And they took what was successful against Baltimore twice, not just at the end of the year, and they employed it. And so good on them moving forward. And that's why Kansas City is my favorite to win the Super Bowl, because I think they're extremely brilliant. And I think Patrick Mahomes elevates everybody around him.
Can I ask one question to Katie, actually?
Sure.
Katie, this is like a hot question. Everyone wants to say, a lot of people will say KC gets all the calls, right? Do you feel like there was pass interference in the end zone with that throw to Isaiah Likely? Were you upset when that play happened?
Not at all. I'm a coach.
Thank you. Okay.
And here's my thing.
I'm glad you're a humble fan. I love that.
Well, it ain't got nothing to do with being humble. I'm logical. There's a play after that non-call, right? What's the response? You've had the ball in your hand multiple times. If I remember correctly, you got the ball back twice. You went 3 and out one of them, and then you went on the 5 play, and then you punted the ball again. So again, we can cry about it. It's not going to do anything. At the end of the day, people can, push is rigged or whatever it may be. I don't know. I'm not in the higher echelon of the NFL. However, with my own eyes, I've seen Baltimore could have made some plays to where, hey, they could have won the game. And that's simple, cut and dry. I'm not going to get on here and whine about certain things. Okay. The one thing I want to address by Eric, because he loves to do this, to say somebody's boxed in, you got to understand, if you take the 3-17-10 games that they lost, and I can guarantee you go position by position, neither one of those teams are the same. Guaranteed. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is not the same as the Kansas City Chiefs defense. You don't have a bunch of long 4-3, 4-4 corners. You don't have that. You would like to think you have that, but you don't. You have a better pass rusher. You have 2 better pass rushers. I'm going to give you that. If it was a front 7, I would definitely say, hey, okay, you guys are similar. When it comes down to Kansas City, they don't have to commit Bolton and Gage to go pass rush. They get it collectively between Chris Jones, Kalafdis, and anybody else that's in there. So
it's a scheme of confusing Lamar and throwing things at Lamar and being a step ahead of him. It's chess, not checkers.
Okay. Yeah,
I have some comments on that game.
We say confused. We're talking about him trying to pass the ball. If he runs the ball, that's not confusing. You guys confused it when it comes down to you guys because you have open players. Kansas City, he didn't have anybody open. Unless you want him to force the ball, you see how that works.
He did. So that's like I have some comments on that game. Hang on, my phone just came out of my holder. That I'm actually really surprised that nobody has mentioned yet because, you can rag on Todd Monken, but they were moving the ball. It was the mistakes that ended their drives. It was Lamar, like the Lamar fumble, the Legarius Sneed punch out at the goal line. It was the interception thrown into the end zone. They were moving the ball. Those were literal game changing. Like they were moving the ball. Their offensive scheme. I put a lot more of it on Lamar's mistakes and the Kansas City defense than I think people are willing. I mean, that punch out was flipping huge. That would have been a tie game.
Zay Flowers is a rookie, though. You got to hope that he'll learn off this. You have to go through hard times. With no matter what you do in life, you have to go through certain mistakes that you do.
Yeah.
And for you to reach out,
but I'm just surprised that nobody had.
Well, no, I don't blame Zay Flowers. I mean, look at here. The fact of the matter is this: yeah, he fumbled, and we get it, and that happens. But
the ball was punched out. I put that more.
No, but
that's all defense. Right
all I'm saying is 10 out of 10 times the wide receiver is going to try to put the ball in the end zone from there. Yeah. He didn't realize Sneed was coming from the side, and he's stretching it out, trying to get the score because points were at a premium in that game. And when you're at the 2-yard line and you're trying to dive for the end zone, that's what you do. And so, yeah, it was ill-advised. It was whatever you want to call it, but 10 out of 10 times the wide receiver is going to do that. It happened the week before to McCole Hardman in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So those things are mistakes that happen that, they swing the momentum of the game, but I'm not going to blame it on the wide receiver who's trying to go and make the play for his team, because again, in a what was it, 17-10 at that point?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's because I'm not blaming Todd Monken, because again, the Ravens were moving the ball. It was the mistakes that made the difference.
Shoot, I am. KD brought it up. The RPOs. Where were those at? That was so successful to. Where was that at?
Voice of reason here. Okay, I an avid Baltimore hater, long time.
I bet you are.
Years. So. Didn't it feel like Harbaugh had he had him too amped up and kind of a lack of discipline?
No, I don't blame it on Harbaugh. Come on, get out of here with that.
Lots of mistakes. They weren't as disciplined as the week before. I mean, would we disagree?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Maybe Justin Tucker, maybe.
Here's what a lot of you guys are alluding to, but you're not saying it. If you pay attention to our tackles that game, how many times did our tackles get beat?
A lot.
Okay.
They were getting tore up.
So again, I want you guys to point to the quarterback that can consistently make plays when his right tackle and left tackles get beat like a drum.
Mm-hmm. No,
don't you think that's where your RPOs can work if your line's not working?
I understand that. I understand that.
Casey Zen's, Chris Jones, and Carl Loftus, they were like getting
crazy. I mean, they have the number 2 defense.
It's not even just them two. It's the young guy too. The young guy that went out that tore his ACL. I can't remember his name, but he was good too. So again, they had a good plan. Their good plan was we need to get pressure with 4, which they was able to do it. So when you get pressure with 4, I can play whatever kind of zone I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true that.
Very true. Very true. Sean, do you have anything you want to add to the conversation here?
No, so I'll just rehash what I said last week. I'm sorry. I know Zay is a rookie, but in these kind of games, it's just stupid, selfish mistakes you cannot do.
No way.
And you can say no all you want, but taunting the guy, you knew it was going to be a flag. You knew it. Oh. And instead of they just put him 15 yards back.
But how fun was that? And I know there's no other Chiefs fan on this video, so whatever. But how fun was that? That literally 2 plays later was when he punched it out. It was like instant karma. Like that's what you get.
Yeah, I just want to say on that point, as far as him reaching for the ball, I know the narrative will change. So it was, what was it, 2nd and 8 when he did that, right? I want to say it was 2nd and 8.
When he tossed it.
Say they get stopped, then say they get, and I'm playing ifs, and I don't like to play ifs, but say if they get stopped 4th and 1, people are going to ask, or 4th and whatever, and they turn the ball over. People are going to ask, why didn't he reach out? So I don't blame him so much for that play. It's just
I'm talking about the taunting penalty after he caught that long pass. Penalty.
He did kind of pull on Zay Flowers though. I forgot was it Snead who tackled him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he did kind of pull on him. So I understand the push, and the NFL's kind of soft. Let's be honest nowadays. But
all I can say about taunting penalties is this: why can't you stand up over the guy who tackles you when you get a first down? Yet you can intercept the ball, and your entire team can run down in the end zone and play like Taylor Swift, shake it off.
We're all fans. We're all fans. We all love taunting, right? Everyone in this table can say we love
but there's a very distinct difference. They're doing that to the crowd. You can do it towards the crowd. You can do it towards your own sideline. You can't do it in the face of the other player.
I think
you just got to do what DK Metcalf does. Bring the sign language out, baby.
Listen to my avid Cleveland hater on the bottom middle there. She's absolutely correct. The defense has everything taken away from it in the NFL nowadays. Let them have their celebration. And Zay Flowers needs to get up and act like he's been there before.
Be a man.
Okay, why doesn't the have to act like they've been there before?
Because the offense gets every other call in the NFL nowadays, just like the NBA.
Soft.
I just don't like
Let's not bring it to that.
I don't like the taunting rule anyway. I just don't like it. That's what me. I mean, when the receiver gets the first down and does that, why isn't that taunting? Why isn't, if the guy goes first down, why isn't that taunting?
Because it's
exactly what Sarah said.
Not at the other player.
It should only be taunting if you talk about someone's mama or their kids. That's it. Come on. Let's quit being babies.
Then they're fighting.
All right, let's move on to.
Now let's flip this. Oh, go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we've already discussed these games all last week, and I can't beat the Dan Campbell fourth down call anymore.
Let's not talk about
that again.
Let's
not going there.
We have a game coming up this week. Sarah, what about your Kansas City Chiefs is going to make them victorious?
Yep.
We do have a game coming up this week, and I will tell you. So, okay, I'm a realistic fan, and you can vouch for that because ahead of the Bills game, I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea who's going to win. If the Chiefs win, these are the things that we're going to have to do to win. And I think I hit on like maybe 2 of the 4 things that I said. And, you know, obviously everyone knows how that game went. This is the 4th Super Bowl that I've been lucky enough to see in my lifetime. This is the least nervous I have ever been for a Super Bowl. And there are, I know, it's everyone's going to say it's crazy. Like the Chiefs are the underdogs, which is still wild to me. Like why?
that. Is wild.
That's wild. But And here's why. And I've been watching the talking heads all week because, you know, that's what you do. And I will never stop being grateful that I'm still like listening to football talk about my team during this week. Like that is just awesome. So I've been listening to it all week long. And they're all bringing up the Super Bowl from 2020, you know, from the 2019 season. And they're like, oh, you know, like we can't really compare. Like, you know, there's only 18 players that are still there. And, you know, 2 of the players have switched teams and, you know, whatever. What I don't understand is why more people aren't talking about the 40-something to 20-something whooping that the Chiefs put on basically this exact same 49ers team last season. That is a much more recent memory game. And obviously, you know, Brock Purdy actually did play in that game. Fun fact, he ended up going in when it was like, you know, it was the game was completely over, but everyone else was the same. Now, that was Christian McCaffrey's first game with the team. He did get some touches. He actually did do a decent job. So obviously he's come like way far since then. And the Chiefs have since lost Juju Smith-Schuster and, you know, but we have Rashee Rice. So we'll just call that a wash, if not a net positive for Kansas City in that category. What is so different about San Francisco from last season to this season where people think that this is, I don't even think this is going to be a close game. I think the Chiefs are going to get out there. I think they're going to get out early. I think our defense is going to embarrass Brock Purdy. Andy Reid has never lost to a former assistant of his in the playoffs. Andy Reid has never lost to Shanahan. We have never lost in the Raiders Stadium. Since it's been erected, we have never lost in that stadium. We are much more comfortable and at home in that stadium because we've played there, you know, several times before. Like the only thing that's going to be different now is we're going to be on the opposite sideline. We're used to dominating in that stadium. And the Chiefs just have, like, they just have that swagger about them right now. Like Travis Kelce's going on, you know, the interviews and just like literally saying out loud, like, I have never wanted one more. And I think I would not be completely surprised. And everyone's saying, no. If Travis Kelce potentially retired after this year. Like, it's far-fetched, but I would not be, like, my jaw would not hit the floor. Like,
Not if they win.
I would hit the floor in a heap of tears because that's just going to be a horrible day. But
he's becoming a Swiftie, so we've all known that.
Stop it, Eric. You're being disrespectful.
Can I rebut?
Okay, yeah. Okay, no. Hold on one second. Because I just have to for like half a second. Like, because I didn't get my 2 minutes at the beginning, and this would have been my 2-minute like little rant. Right. How fucking insulting it is. I cannot, pardon my language, I cannot go anywhere wearing my Chiefs gear without someone being like, oh, you must be a Swiftie. And like, at first I was like, oh no, I watched the team forever. Now they're like they're swiftly, pun intended, met with these 2 bad boys. I'm like, get out of my face. Like,
I mean, it comes with the territory. When
I was in Foxborough to see the Chiefs Patriots game this year, and I'm just sitting outside the stadium, like on a bench or something, like drinking a beer, like waiting to go in. And someone walked by and they're like, are you here to see Taylor Swift? And I was like, get out of my face. Like, get out of, like, just keep walking. Like, but like, would you ask a guy that? Like, it is so offensive, and it is such a difficult time to be a true female
let me rebut you now for a minute.
Yeah. So off my
So
soapbox.
first
Off
of
my
all,
soapbox.
the whole Swiftie thing, I don't care about it from the standpoint of Taylor Swift. What I care about is, Tom Brady had Giselle Bundchen, Josh Allen has Haley Steinfeld.
Tony Romo.
Wait, hold on. There's numerous players who have girlfriends who are stars or whatnot. The thing that I think really irritates and aggravates football fans about Taylor Swift is you're there to watch the football game, not have the camera pan every time Travis Kelce picks his nose. Oh, Taylor's going, hey.
It's less than 1 minute. The whole season.
The only thing about
literally less than 30 seconds of coverage in a 4-hour span per week.
It's good for the NFL because it
Great
generates a lot of money. And that's what the NFL is about. So it generates money. Now,
it's
I don't
just
care
weird
about
because I didn't hear you, and maybe I missed it because I was not on the podcast last week, but I didn't hear you complain about Eminem being shown every time Detroit did something good.
Can we admit if Taylor Swift was on this podcast, we would be Swifties too. So we just got to admit that fact.
It's just such a double standard. It's nauseating.
Hey, I'm Beyonce all the way, KD. By the way, I'm Beyonce all the way, KD.
Is Eminem? Dave, hold on a minute. Is Kelce at the end going to retire, and then he's going to propose to Swift, and then they're going to say, "We're going to Disney World"?
Right?
No,
it's scripted. It's scripted. We all know.
We all know it's coming.
You know what? If it's scripted, thank you for finally picking my team.
Well,
finally, y'all just won last year.
all I'm going to say is this to rebut your stuff. I don't care about Taylor Swift. To rebut your thing, your talk about the Chiefs.
Anyway, yeah, enough of that.
I'm rebutting your conversation about the Chiefs easily walking over San Francisco. What's the difference?
Easily.
San Francisco's a more wait.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me finish. San Francisco's a more complete team this year than they were last year. San Francisco's offense is. If Brock Purdy don't separate his shoulder last year, it would have been Kansas City and San Francisco last year. When you had Brock Purdy not being able to throw the ball the entire game, and your backup quarterback was Christian McCaffrey, would have changed the entire thing. When Brock Purdy went into his tailspin in the middle of the season, Deebo Samuel was out, Christian McCaffrey went out. So at that point in time, he didn't have two of his biggest weapons on offense. If this game gets into a shootout, if this game is a scoring game, Kansas City's done. They have Isaiah Pacheco and Rashee Rice, and you're not going to rely on Marcus Valdez-Scantling to catch the ball twice this year. And I look at this game, and listen, I have nothing bad to say about Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in football, hands down.
Go
no
back.
The Travis Kelce, because and this is why I say this, because San Francisco has a tight end like George Kittle, and they practice against that tight end like George Kittle. And Travis Kelce are on par, about equal. They know how to cover a tight end because they do it in practice every week. You're not gonna see Travis Kelce walking down the field wide open like he did against Buffalo. You're not gonna see him walking down the field because their defense is geared to covering a tight end. Well, might it happen? Sure, it probably does. Wide receivers get open, tight ends get open, but they're geared to covering and knowing the tendencies of those guys.
So I have a very specific question. What has changed in the San Francisco defense from last season to this season? Just last season to this season, what has changed in the San Francisco defense? Because I would say arguably that they got worse. That is going to prevent them from Travis Kelce getting six catches for 98 yards, which is what his stat line was when they met last year.
Warner.
So they've been practicing against Kittle for years and years and years, yet the last time that they played, Travis Kelce had 6 catches for 98 yards, which is funny because that was exactly Kittle's stat line as well.
I have a hot question I want to ask. I have a hot question I want to ask, though. And this is just a funny hot question to me, but do you guys think they will play Kadarius Toney at all?
No.
Like, do you think?
No, he's done. He's done.
Oh yeah, they also
He was my 2 minutes last week. I had to call him close to the camera
awesome.
because
I wish I would have been on that. That is so funny.
They also have Chase Young now.
So,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's time. It's hard to beat a team multiple times, especially when we're talking about high stakes like this. Now, I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I will say that. But the 49ers, they have a solid team. I honestly feel like it's their time. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I'm rocking with the Chiefs. But it's hard. And as Dave, I think you said if it's a shootout, then the 49ers come on top. I don't believe that at all. They got to take it running. They got to get on top and not let them come back. If it's close, it's going to – Patrick Mahomes will get it.
And you're not going to see San Francisco run the ball 6 times. And Kansas City's run defense was, 31st in the league?
No.
But don't let it come close.
They were middle of the pack.
Patrick Mahomes will get the calls. He will get everything. I'm not saying he always gets it. I'm just saying it always shoots in his favor.
I don't care. This is going to come down to calls.
Listen, Dave, you don't care about him because he's better than Allen, and he beats Allen.
Oh, Eric, come on. We're not even talking about Josh Allen. He's old news. Come on. He's old news.
Dave's been butthurt about Patrick Mahomes since the beginning of
What's that?
That's my guy. I love Patty Mahomes. I'm trying to get his hair.
And you're mad.
No, I've never said a bad thing about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah,
I don't argue it. I don't question it.
Remember that statement. Remember that statement when they play.
What's the biggest headline heading into the Super Bowl? That's what I want to know. Your guys' opinion.
One second. Hold on, and I'm going to rebut Dave here for a minute because I hear about it on the chat all week, so this is my chance to do it live. Listen, Dave, you said Patrick Mahomes is the greatest, right? He's the best.
Yep.
And so
in football right now, yeah.
In big moments, superstars come out, right? That's why he beats Allen in the playoffs every year. That's why he gets to where he gets to. He makes the players around him better.
I'm not talking about Josh Allen, so
I'm not. I'm talking Patrick Mahomes, and
right?
Because he deserves to be talked about because he's there.
Sure.
So, in this moment, he's elevated his team. MVS did absolutely nothing until he needed him to in the weighty moment of that game. He elevates everybody around him.
Okay, but I will tell you this, Eric. There's not one playoff game he's played this year that his team was on the brink of losing.
But they didn't. And I don't care about
but again, he elevated them to this point, but it was a mistake by Zay Flowers, and it was a mistake by Lamar Jackson. It wasn't a Patrick Mahomes comeback miracle and elevated his team. They were mistakes caused by the defensive side of the ball that kept him into the game.
He made plays when it mattered.
He made plays when it mattered. I mean,
that's the difference between him and Josh Allen. To be honest.
So does that play happen in the first quarter or the last 2 minutes?
We're not talking first quarter. We're talking about when it matters.
Hold on. 1 sec. We're not going to go down the drinking game this week, but we are going to say in terms of the Super Bowl.
Sure.
He is who he is for a reason. Until he's the guy. Right. Now, is San Francisco the team? They have the best shot out of anybody he's played recently. Right. They have a great team.
Because I'm looking at the overall team.
I don't disagree. I think San Francisco's got a solid team. They need to give C-Mac the ball, and they need to make this a fist fight, and they need to put the boxing gloves and fight in the phone booth here. Because if they try to air this out and they try to put this in the air against Patrick Mahomes and they try to go tit for tat, Purdy Mahomes is going to win because he's the guy.
Every time.
Well, but again, I don't think it's going to be up to Purdy. Go ahead, Sean. I know you're wanting to talk.
Okay. Trey asked an excellent question, and I think we do need to answer. What is the headline going into this game? Me personally, you got these two teams. They have both been here before. The one X factor is Purdy. He is the storyline. If he does well, he's going to cement himself as a great quarterback. But everyone else has been here before. One thing I will mention real quick is when Kansas City was on the field and Kelsey got the Raven to, for the personal foul. Patrick Mahomes is sitting there. He's like, composure, guys, composure. And that's what he is bringing to the table. Now, Purdy looks cool as a cucumber. And I got to say, I'm very impressed with the way he's handling everything. He is the X factor in this game. If he does not play well, people are going to be screaming and put Sam Darnold in. There's no way they're going to do it.
Oh, don't do that.
But that's what
Wouldn't
it's going
that
to be.
Wild? Someone getting benched in the Super Bowl? Has that ever happened?
That won't happen. That won't happen. You can't do that. Brock Purdy has done enough to show that he is in that upper echelon of the quarterbacks of today. So I'm talking Josh Herbert. I'm talking Lamar. You got to put him up in those areas. But if he loses this game, and if it's because of him, the narrative will be he is not that great, which I don't agree with, but it will just be the narrative that'll go on in the mainstream media.
Well, that's my issue with all these things. It's if the Chiefs win and Mahomes is pedestrian, it's because he raised his level of play around him. And it was all Mahomes who did this whole – forget the team that won. It's all Patrick raising the level of – and he has 168 yards and a touchdown – and they win 17.
I mean, that's every year in the Super Bowl for him.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Patrick Mahomes is not.
But that comes with the territory of being great. You take the blame when it all goes bad, or you take all the accolades when it goes good.
KD, you've been sitting there quiet, and I'm going to let you speak on this game now about Kansas City and what you think. Or San Francisco, rather, not Kansas City.
Okay. First off, we got to pipe down on the fandom. It's a game they got to play. So, again, the key for me is the defense of San Francisco and everybody outside of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing else to talk about. Because I can tell you right now, the defense is different. They got Randy Gregory. They got Eric Armstead. They got some guys in the secondary that they have. They got some people back that are healthier, right? Same thing with Kansas City. Kansas City got some different players, right? So my thing is, hey, okay, are you going to give him some layup throws? Brock Purdy is what I'm talking about. Because, again, he's going to have those jitters, right? Because, again, the first game he played in, playing against them, it was 6 for 9, 58 yards or whatever he had, something crazy like that, right? So it was a sample size. And then this is for all the marbles. Is this the time he's going to get flustered? The best thing to happen to Brock Purdy was that Baltimore Ravens game. That's the best thing to happen to him because he's seen what it's like to get flustered. He's been there before. Had he not played that type of game and played through it, and I was happy they tried to put him back out there. They did whatever they did with him because now, hey, look, I want you. This is your aha type of moment. This is your growing up party, if you will. So now Kyle Shanahan has to sit here and say, look, I'm not going to play the game that you guys want to play when it comes down to running up and down the field. Because we know, hey, it doesn't matter who Kansas City has on their roster. They're equipped to do that. No matter the guys drop the ball or not, whatever it may be, they still have the offense to go up and down the field, right? So what you should do is you get your lead, force a couple of turnovers, and then now you say, okay, look, we're going to play bully ball with you. We're going to see if you guys can really go and stop our run game the whole time. How are you going to do it? The key, once you get up, the key to everything is going to be, I'm going to tell you two guys. It's going to be Deebo Samuel, right, and Brandon Ayuk. That's it. Because the reason why I say that is because you want Nick Bolton and Willie Gay out of the middle of the field as much as possible. Because if you keep them both in the middle of the field, it's just like if you keep both the San Francisco guys in the middle of the field. The difference is Warner is a missile. Fred Warner is a missile. Not saying Bolton Gay aren't, but they're more of a combined effort. Whereas Warner can run sideline to sideline within a blink of an eye. So again, for me, the defense of San Francisco, are they going to crap the bed, right? Because that's what happened in the second half. If you look at the game, and the game that Sarah was talking about, the game was 14-13 at half. And the difference was the defense for San Francisco caved. That was the difference. They scored 30 points. I think it was 14-16 in the second half versus I think it was 10-10 or 10-3 or something like that in the second half for the 49ers. So again, for me, the defense is going to matter more than the offenses because I think either offense will probably make some mistakes. They've been known to do that, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a matter about are you going to capitalize off of them, and then the other thing is when you get your drives going, what are you going to end up with?
I think one X factor also for the Niners on the offensive side that you did not mention is Jawan Jennings too. He's going to be a big X factor for them. Debo's obviously we're going to have eyes on him, but Jawan Jennings, I feel like he's going to be a big X factor, and if they win, I think he's going to make a couple big plays for them to be able to win the Super Bowl.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I would say San Francisco, their path to victory is throwing the ball 30 times or less.
No. You have to have a balance for them. I feel like if they have a balance,
That's why you said 30 times or less.
Yeah.
30
Brock
times or
Purdy,
less.
you can't. I don't feel like you rely on Brock Purdy to throw 35 plus.
No, 30 or
passes.
less. 30 or less. They need to have about. He needs to be about 19 to 25 for them to have
I agree.
a good
I
shot.
agree.
And I mean, KD can throw out a lot of like the schemes. They got to play the game, but Super Bowls come down to great players. I mean, they typically
No,
do.
not always. It can come to X factors.
I know
But
we talk about
the X factor that makes those two plays.
David Tyree and his helmet catch, etc. But most of the time, the big players show up in the
Those
big
are legendary plays. Though.
Yeah, but you got to also look at it too. Most of the times, great players aren't in their normal capacity.
Patrick Mahomes, for example.
Instance, you've had a 2-2 Super Bowl. That's unbecoming of a Patrick Mahomes, because leading up to that, he's successfully 3-1, 4-1, whatever it may be. So if he goes 2-2, it's fine. What's going to change everything or flip it on his head if those two turnovers, one of them is a pick six or one of them is to return into the red zone? That's where stuff started to flip over on his head. Because if you look at when they played against San Francisco the last time, San Francisco had the time of possession and more plays, but they lost by 17 points or so, or whatever it was. It's 22-44. So by 21 points. So again, when it comes down to that, it's a matter of, you got the possessions, right? But those possessions end up being empty calories if nothing happens from it. So that's the thing that I'm looking forward to. Same thing with Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy throws a pick, it's okay. But if that pick is returned for a touchdown, that's a whole nother monster. The last thing is that I got to remember, I got to look back. But there's a crazy dynamic in football that there's always a special team touchdown. So if that happens again, now we're talking. Hey, who does that take the pressure off of? I know the pressure's not on Mahomes, but I can tell you right now, if San Francisco gets a secondary special teams touchdown, that makes it that much easier for Brock Purdy. Meaning, hey, if I have to get 3 touchdowns, I could just get 2 and win this game. I'm cool with it.
Does a loss to Mahomes impact his legacy?
No, but it does change. It does change what people are trying to do to him. It does change.
I don't think it hurts. But I feel like it helps if he wins. But I don't think it hurts.
Hold on, it does. It will. If it doesn't, we're not being truthful about why we're saying Patrick Mahomes himself is the GOAT. If we're saying he's the GOAT, you can't be a 2-2 in the Super Bowl and say that. If he's 3-1, that looks a whole lot better than 2-2. We can call it what we want. Look, we said it. All the respect we give him, all the glory we give him, and if he ends up 2-2 in the Super Bowl, we talking who's
LeBron James? Are we talking LeBron James at that point?
No, we're not talking LeBron James. We talking the fact that, hey, okay, we got to chill on the GOAT talk if he loses the Super Bowl. Because again, at the end of the day, right?
I don't agree.
You got okay. You look at Tom Brady. Right? What makes him beat Tom Brady if Tom Brady has six or 7 Super Bowls and he has 2 losses? And those 2
3.
Go ahead.
Isn't he 7-10 or isn't he 7-3?
Tom Brady went a 10-year span without even winning a Super Bowl, right? So I don't think it's
7-3 because he lost to the Giants twice and then to Nick Foles.
And this is what I'm saying. The rest of his career got to play out to push him above Brady like we want to right now. Because if he goes 3-1, okay, people are gonna want to push him above Brady. I can tell you that right now, right?
Oh, I am.
Right, and it's unfair.
I don't think it hurts.
Trust me, I hate Brady. I dislike Brady whatsoever. Right?
Hate's a strong word.
It's the truth. It's the God honest truth. I can hate somebody, but I can respect them. Right? I hate the man with a passion. Right? Because the game was changed because of whatever. Right? So when it comes down to it, what in this particular situation would put him above Tom Brady?
I mean, the only thing that's going to put him above Tom Brady, if he gets, in my opinion, is 5 or more. But the man is 28 years old. He's got a decade plus to
My
get.
thing about the Tom Brady talk or any of that is I want him to finish his career. I want him to play 20 years. I want to see Tom Brady, what Tom Brady did from 2000 and whatever to when he 2001 until he retired. That's an entire career's worth of work. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in football today. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody's going to not come along and knock him out, who's going to be better, phenomenal, whatever. Who knows? But at the end of his career, that's when I'll start comparing who to who. At this point in time, Patrick Mahomes just has to be the best Patrick Mahomes he is right now and let everything play out. Not worry about who's the GOAT. That's for the media and all those people to have stories to write about, people for like us to sit here and discuss and argue and debate and so on and so forth. At the end of his career, we can have a debate about what Tom Brady did in his 20 years to what Patrick Mahomes did in his 20 years if he plays that long. And then we can have a serious debate about it. At this point in time, I take Patrick Mahomes playing with the quarterbacks that he's playing with now, and hands down, best quarterback in the NFL today. And that's all I worry about. And if he wins the Super Bowl, I'm not sitting here saying that there's no way that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, because to Eric's point, of course, Patrick Mahomes elevates the players around him. He elevates his team. He motivates his team. Absolutely. But I don't look at the football game as just a singular player. I'm looking at this from an overall team perspective. And the things that I see on the offensive side of the ball from the 49ers, they have explosive playmakers in every specialty position. And then I look at what Kansas City lacks in those positions, okay? And then I look defensively, and Kansas City has a great defense, but San Francisco's defense is not to be slept on. And so my point is if San Francisco can start putting up points, whether it's running the ball, controlling the ball, but if they make their possessions count and put points on the board, I just think it's going to be hard for Kansas City to match that ability because of their lack of playmakers across the board.
Okay.
Are you picking San Francisco?
Yeah, let's get to that.
I feel like everyone has a right to get out of their choice until Saturday night. But
no, I'm ready. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna win. I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be right, whether Dave likes it or not.
I got a hot question too. Do you all consider Kansas City a dynasty at this point?
I do.
I already do. The debate that I like to get in on Twitter, I already do, because going to 4 Super Bowls in 5 years is impressive. But the general consensus, and I'm sure y'all have heard this before, is 3 and 5 years. So if we win this Sunday, it's done. There's like all of the, but you have to win 3 and 5 years. Then that is the bar at which everyone who didn't think we would get that has been arguing with. So that is over at this. The conversation will be over at this. But if we win, then yes, we are a dynasty. If we lose, then it's still like honestly a debate.
What about you?
I agree, because if you win, you've won it with the same person. I mean, if you won with Patrick Mahomes, you're a dynasty at that point.
They are the New England of last decade. I mean, so if we consider New England a dynasty, that's where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
So prediction-wise, Sean, as the host, I would love to hear everybody's prediction. And
I will start this, no problem. I'm not a betting man because I suck at gambling. But I think Kansas City is going to win this game. I think, as Trey said, I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Are we confident enough to go with scores?
Yeah, let's go scores.
Okay. We want to go scores.
And hey, put your scores in the comments, and the winner of the closest score will send a T-shirt too.
Okay. You got to keep track of that then.
I'll keep track of it.
You got to keep track of that. Such a
I
little whiner.
I got so much other stuff I got to do here. I'm commenting and doing everything. Okay, so I got.
I'll keep track of it.
I'm going to go 27-24 Kansas City.
I just put that.
Go ahead, Eric.
So I said I wanted to go last, but I'll go next, Dave. That's fine. So I said it was the last dance, and I think it is because I've been saying Kelsey was going to retire at the end of the year, and what the
He'll do a Gronk
will no longer be, and they will be something different. Now, whether Mahomes gets there or not, he will not be there next year, and we will not be having this conversation. We can. I promise you, this is the last dance of what Kansas City is, as they are. So for that prediction, I think that's like the last dance. Patrick Mahomes throws a touchdown pass in the last minute of the game in the weightiest moment to put him ahead in the last 34 seconds. I'll even time it. 31-27.
Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I think the only way Kansas City keeps this ball game under control is if they keep it 30 or under. So I'm going 27-24 Kansas City in a shootout where San Francisco has the lead in the fourth quarter, but Patrick Mahomes finds a way. Now, the only thing I would rebut is with Eric. I almost called him Erica. I don't know why. It must be the Steelers outfit. But but the only reason why I want to rebut with you, Eric, is you say, like, this is Kansas City as it was. I only agree with that if Tyreek Hill was on the team still. But I feel like Travis Kelce will feel like he has something owed to Patrick Mahomes to go at least another 2 years. But beat that as I said. I say Kansas City 27-24. It's not going to come down to a kicker. It's going to come down to a touchdown. I go with Kansas City.
All right. Sarah.
Yeah, so I put mine in the chat. So I will mention, and I feel like this is, Eric, no offense, but with you predicting 27 for San Francisco, Kansas City has not allowed greater than 24 points in the entire season, playoffs included. 24 points is the greatest number of points that they've allowed, and I don't see San Francisco being the type of offense that's going to do something that literally 20 other games have not been able to accomplish. I called a blowout. I'm calling a blowout. It's going to be 24-7. I do. I'm calling 24-7, and I think the Chiefs get 20. I think the Chiefs get 24 because, for the reasons that we don't have the same high-powered offense that we always have. But our defense is absolutely amazing, and we're just going to stifle them. Look what we did to the Ravens. The Ravens scored how many points this year?
Where do they get those 7 points at, though? So you're only scoring one touchdown. Where do they get that at?
Are we vaping the same thing?
I don't know. I just said what's in it because you must be smoking.
Where do they get those 7 points, though? Is it the fourth quarter, third quarter?
No, early on. The defense tightens up, and and I think the score for Kansas City can even go north of that if there are some pick sixes thrown in there. I'm telling y'all.
Okay.
I have never been like a crazy, I am a level-headed person. I have been on the record being a level-headed person, not making bold predictions, not making with the Bills game, I didn't know what was going to happen, trying to, whatever. And I'm not making this from a crazy fan standpoint. I'm making this from a truly analytical football. This is truly the way I see this game going.
Right.
7 points is disrespectful.
If that happens, Sarah, it is 24-7, like you said.
I'm sending you $20 if that happens.
Okay.
This is the deal. David will do his 2 minutes next week topless.
Yes.
I'm sure they want to see that.
I can't wait for the offseason.
Does everyone realize that anytime I make statements like this, it's always making David topless? Because I ain't gonna do it. Because
I think Sean just wants to see me topless.
I think we should share that picture.
Over and see it. All right, KD, go ahead. Give us your
you're the man.
Prediction for this game.
It's funny hearing some of y'all, man. Some of y'all is like, hey, look, I'm gonna wake up on the right side of the bed, so it's gonna be 48-0. It's like, what the hell is that? I don't understand some of you guys' logic, but okay. All right. So it's the doggone Super Bowl, for Christ's sakes, right? So
the only team to get blown out in the Super Bowl is Buffalo, 52-17. So let's not talk about that.
That's a Jeopardy question.
That's not true. That's not true. The Giants got a couple of them.
Tampa and the Raiders.
Yeah, Tampa and the Chiefs.
Right. So again, here's the thing. Those two players, right, got to be on their stuff, right? Because we saying, hey, you know, Kansas City's defense, Kansas City's offense, Kansas City's this, Kansas City's that. Those other guys got to bid in this too, because they hearing the chatter. They hearing that, hey, they don't have a chance. They hearing that, hey, this is Travis Kelce getting married ceremony. They hearing that. They hearing all that stuff. You know, to the point to where that may motivate them. That may motivate a guy outside of a Fred Warner, outside of a Chase Young. Or Chase Young may say, hey, look, I've been hearing all the chatter, right? All I'm saying is, hey, I would hate to come out and get humbled on the grandest stage. That's all I'm saying. However, I still got Kansas City winning the game, right? But it's not some crazy amount like you guys are saying. So it is not some heroic. Again, it's not. We're not made for the heroic, because again, you got some people that probably want to do some crazy stuff to Patrick Mahomes in the waning seconds. We don't want that. We want, if we could coast into our win and kneel in victory formation, I will take it any day of the week. So I'm gonna go 27-19 Kansas City.
I just want to say one thing real quick. There's nothing more motivating when you have a girl on the side. And I played basketball at the highest level in my church league for the longest time. There's nothing better when you have a beautiful woman on the sideline, and you just know it's game time. And that's why I can't really bet against them.
Whoa, that started off real bad when you got a woman on the side, and I am great in my church league.
Hey, I'm 6'4", 230, baby.
All right. Okay. Then you put the sideline later, which made it okay. But at first I was like, oh man, this is not good.
So here's a couple of things that I think are going to. First of all, I'm not taking Kansas City.
Oh,
and I'm not, because
you need that lone wolf hat.
No. I will lone wolf it. I will do whatever. I will if San Francisco wins, I'll come on with no shirt on next week. But
love it.
Here, look at Joe Thuney isn't playing this week, and that's going to be a huge loss for Kansas City.
Allegretti is perfectly acceptable. That is not.
But you're going up against Chase Young. You're going up against the Nick Bosa. You're going up against Eric.
That's a good point.
Okay, you're not going up against. You're not going up against
Chase Young like he's the same person he was last season.
Again,
before.
But
yeah.
Like I said, I think it's this. Kansas City is going to get tested in their run defense. San Francisco is not going to stray from the recipe that has made them successful all year. They didn't do it against Detroit when they were down 27-7, and they came back and won that game, or 24-7, whatever the hell the score was. They didn't panic. Brock Purdy didn't go all crazy because it was a waning moment and he couldn't handle it. No, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying he couldn't not handle the pressure. It was for the championship, and granted, Dan Campbell might have made some poor decisions, but he capitalized on the decisions that they made. That team stayed in the game. They didn't fold it up. They didn't pack it in. They played a game. They want to win the Super Bowl. They don't care about Taylor Swift and the Suite. They don't care about Kansas City's last hurrah with this group of people, if that's what it's going to be. I just think that San Francisco, from top to bottom, playmaker and alike, is a more complete team. And because of that, San Francisco wins this game 31-20. But I will say this. If this game comes down to Jake Mooney versus Harrison Butker, then Kansas City will win. But it will not come to that. So
So you think San Francisco is going to score 7 more points than any team has been able to do?
Hold on. Let me just real quick.
I absolutely do, because their offense is playing at that level.
Real quick, Dave, real quick.
Yeah.
And I'll say this to everybody. Over history, when we look back at some of the great moments and some of the great games and some of the great career, the Joe Montana pass, etc., we can say, well, it wasn't, it was because they had a great plan and the game went well because of balanced teams, etc. Great players make great plays in big games. I mean, that's just historical. And so I do think for the theater of it, it brings out the best moments in the greatest players. And Patrick Mahomes is a great player here. To Sarah's point, I think San Francisco's balanced and they're going to score, but this will be on Patrick Mahomes. This is a moment for him, for his legacy.
Well,
I agree.
I understand. I get all that stuff, but also great players sometimes don't step up in great moments.
And then they're not remembered.
Patrick Mahomes didn't step up in the AFC Championship game and Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. I mean, it happens. Granted, it doesn't happen all the time. Great players, but it happens. And again, I just think, and I'm not, because you're looking at the player. I'm looking at the team as a whole.
I understand.
I look at the overall team and I say, overall, I think San Francisco has the more complete team. And yes, the intangible of Patrick Mahomes being that guy got them to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that intangible by itself probably, and Kansas City had a great defense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discount their defense, but from an offensive standpoint, this has probably been the most pedestrian offense Patrick Mahomes has played on.
I don't disagree.
And he got them there, and with the help of Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce stepping up in those moments, but also during the year, Travis Kelce's had his drops, he's had his missed plays, he's done this, and I know it's the Super Bowl and it's a different time, and it's a whole different set of circumstances, but there are times that players who have stepped up sometimes step down.
I understand. I just want to point out, and I'll be done. I'll beat myself, and I promise. I'm like Jeff tonight, and I have to make up for it because I'm the bald bearded guy on the show, the white bald bearded guy on the show. Sorry, Katie. Look. When we talk about great players and great moments over history, and we compare it, we go over sports, and we go over. I don't disagree that San Francisco is the better complete team. I don't at all. But the better complete team, even like when I use Jordan all the time because I respect the hell out of him, but even the 98-99 Pacers were more complete than the Bulls were, and they beat them up. But Jordan
don't even go.
Jordan was that much better, and he was that much clutch that he impacted everybody around him to make the Bulls better.
They were the more complete team. Don't even.
I don't disagree with you, Eric. I just look at this as
more complete versus great superstar.
I just don't look at it from the microscope of a single player. I look at it from 22 guys starting offense, starting defense, and the makeup of the team. And that's.
I gotta know. I gotta know what
real
song
quick,
the
Trey.
49ers.
Sean, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, let Trey say, because he's been trying to come in here. You both shut the fuck up, okay?
I was going to say something.
This is a pick segment. Go ahead, Trey.
I was just going to say something out there. I got to know what song the 49ers are going to play on that boombox before they come out. I got to know the type of energy they're coming out with.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
They're not playing a Taylor Swift song. They will if they win. They will.
Honestly,
Shake It Off is the 49ers victory song.
Yeah, if they're playing Young Boy, they're gonna lose. Come on out.
Yeah,
but
Shake It Off is the 49ers victory
something that'll
song.
really galvanize this team together and really get the team ready, then that'll lead to a big. It's the small things, right? So I just want to know what, and it's not going to impact the game itself. I get that, but I just want to know the type of energy they're going to come out with. Are they going to come out showboating, thinking that they are the stuff? Or are they going to come out focused?
Is that something
they're going to come out all business? I think it's going to be all business.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. What were you going to say now?
I was going to just quick comment. This was a pick segment. Like you can't, if someone gives their opinion, you can't battle them. So David,
Eric
you're the only one going for the 49ers. Good for you. The other 5 on the panel, we all got KC. And that's a good thing.
You understand, Eric, he argues about Planet Fitness over Planet Hollywood on the freaking chat. This guy will argue over anything.
All right,
Eric. Eric, we need to put more weights on those.
I know
weights.
Yeah, the 2 Cheerios and the toothpick ain't doing it.
It's not there. I helped this guy move out of his house. I know the way he's moving. I hope you know now.
What did you do? Wait a minute. He's Stuart Little. What did you do? Pick up the fucking dollhouse and just
I picked up everything.
And we won Spook. Right.
This Super Bowl will
5 years ago.
It will be a fantastic game. I don't think this Super Bowl is going to be – I think this is going to be a fantastic game of football.
Me too, I do.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be like what Sarah thinks, 24/7, right, Sarah? I don't think it'll be that.
That's another reason why I picked San Francisco. You are just way too confident. You're over.
There's some bias. There's some bias there.
No, she's not biased, but she's way too confident.
I'm telling you, this is not a biased pick. This is my true
I love
evaluation.
it. The score was crazy though.
And again, it's the coaching. Yeah, I mean, you're going complete team. I'm almost going more with there's just too many factors. I mean, the 49ers did not look great in the playoffs. I mean, if it weren't for Dan Campbell basically committing coaching malpractice in the second half of that game, they wouldn't even be here. Like,
I just personally feel it's so hard to beat a team multiple times, no matter if you played them 10 years ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I feel like it's so hard to beat a team multiple times. There's going to be some consistency in the play calling, some consistency in the type of energy you put out there. I just feel like it's going to be so hard for them to really run away with this game. I feel like no matter San Fran, KC, I feel like it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. And like I said, it comes down to Butker and Mooney. I will put my money on Harrison Butker.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And by the way, when I told you guys to shut the fuck up because we only have 5 viewers at this moment, so. And I know 3 of them are us, so no one was watching. I would have said that otherwise.
Yeah, that's all good. It's all good.
It's okay. Right, so I hear that every day at work.
There you go. So we were supposed to discuss coaching hires. Do we want to continue to argue for the last 18 minutes, or do we want to talk about the coaching hires?
We can talk about them briefly. I mean,
all right. Then put up Katie's slides.
FTC.
I don't like that flag, by the way.
Do I got to move the slide one? I guess I do.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
Okay, I didn't know what the first slide was all about, but
well, we were supposed to be talking out 2 minutes then, but of course, y'all do what y'all want.
Okay, the 2 from the crew, not the fastest 2 minutes. That's ESPN. We're 2 from the crew. Okay, so let's start off. Who's got Las Vegas?
Who would like to speak on Las Vegas?
I'll take it. So Las Vegas did themselves a service by keeping Antonio Pierce in-house because he got the team rocking and rolling again to the point where they wanted to be competitive. Before him, they looked like they were lifeless. They did not want to play football. They didn't look professional to the point where it's like, hey, okay, he's actually going out of his way to be motivational to them, to have those speeches, to talk to them and basically dap up his players and stuff like that. And the players are responding to it. Because you would have thought the Raiders went a overhaul in the middle of the season on their roster, but they haven't. The only disconnect I have with this is he let Cliff Kingsbury out of the OC job, and he should have waited before he hired somebody, because now that Cliff Kingsbury's headed to Washington, he could have probably said, "Hey, go kick your tires on Eric Bieniemy," and then I think that probably could turn into something special. So,
real quick question on that.
Yeah, I'd just like to segue, and I don't have a question, just a comment, but I totally agree. Antonio Pierce is one of those guys. It just takes one leader to really change the culture in the locker room, and I can attest to Eric to this in our personal relationship. Before I met Eric, he was that type of guy that really knew how to really just drive and motivate no matter what circumstance he was in. And I feel like Antonio Pierce is a really good reflection on that. he's the type of guy that he's been there, he's done that. He knows how to really talk to his players. So I love the hire in keeping Antonio Pierce. He's a motivating type of guy, knows how to really earn a locker room's respect. So I think that was a great hire. I also agree with KB with letting Cliff go. But I feel like no matter what, he's that guy that people will look to turn to and to be able to listen to. So I think it was a great option.
Beautiful. And KD, I gotta say that was perfect, man. You kept it short, concise, to the point. We could move through these and end on time. My only question is just quick and just a 30-second rebuttal. Did it make Antonio look a little inept because they all of a sudden they came out, Cliff Kingsbury was going there, then like 15 minutes later, Kingsbury's like, no, I'm going to Washington. Does that reflect poorly?
No, that's on ownership though. You know what I mean? Because we can say the head coach takes his staff, but let's be real, who paying the guy? So at the end of the day, you know, that's an ownership issue. That's always been a plague of the Raiders.
Okay. And I'm going to say this another time. Until the freaking owner of the Raiders gets a goddamn haircut, they're never going to do anything.
No,
that is the most horrible haircut I've ever seen. Okay, so who had New England?
I'll take New England.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure I understand this. If you were going to do that, why not just keep Bill Belichick? It just Jared Mayo's only ever played or coached under Bill Belichick. Like, what is he bringing that's new to the table? Like, what are they doing? What are they like? Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do that, just keep Bill Belichick. Like, you want to have someone who's at least been around the block, gotten to work under different head coaches, learned, you know, different schemes, different ideas, different ways of running the business. I don't understand this hire at all. Like,
culture change.
Sir, I will say.
But would it really be a culture change though?
It's not a culture change. It's a GM change. Bill has struck out in the draft continuously.
Yeah, like the last decade.
More than he's won. So that's it. That's the real reason for this.
And another thing about this hire that I like is because New England is so stripped down and they're deplete of pretty much everything. You get a young coach who has an opportunity to build his own identity, even though he was a coach under Belichick. He's going to be able to get guys, young players in that'll come in and want to buy into his system and what he wants to do. And with the young team, you can't have an old mindset. And that was my biggest argument about Belichick this year was you're trying to fit round pieces into square pegs because Bill Belichick has his way. And the younger generation of football players are not equipped or adapt to play in that kind of philosophy. And I think it just kind of showed the last 3-4 years after Brady left that Belichick was beyond his time as a coach, at least in that situation. So I think it brings a fresh attitude and everything into this whole situation.
Well, yeah, but to that point, my only other thing with that is if you want a fresh new approach, then you bring in a fresh new set of eyes, not someone who's only been raised and groomed in that system. And not to discount the possibility. I hope I'm wrong. I'm rooting for the guy. If he's just, sitting there with his notebooks drawing up all these like fantastic ideas and they were constantly getting shot down by Belichick, which is not far-fetched at all, then awesome. Like I can't wait to see him next year, but he hasn't been to other places or had the opportunity or the experience to develop, hey, we did it this way over here and we did it this way over here. What if we put those together and like, this is my new coaching identity? Where is he getting that identity from? Like he just, from an experience level, hasn't had the opportunity to pick the brains of other great football minds to come together. Maybe he's one in his own right and that will be seen, but on paper, it just doesn't mean much.
So, I mean, let's talk about it isn't always the most experienced candidates that. Oh yeah, sorry, Sean. I'll move on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got 6 more coaches. We got 10 minutes. Who's got Washington?
I got Washington. I will say that I didn't like this hire at first until he put his coaching staff together, because I like the fact that he got Cliff Kingsbury, because they're picking number 2 in the draft. You got an offensive mind who's going to take a young quarterback and develop them, whether that's Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, whoever it is. You're gonna have that kind of offensive coach to get the best out of that quarterback. And then he hired Joe Witt Jr. to run his defense. So my whole takeaway of this is I think Dan Quinn will be good as long as he just does head coaching. He's got a defensive coordinator. He's got the offensive coordinator. Let them do their jobs. Let him concentrate on overall coaching and not have too much input into what their defense and offense are doing other than game day game planning. And I think he'll be okay. I think if he tries to muddle his hands too much in the defense, I think that's where it's going to become an issue.
All right. Who's got Tennessee?
All right. I think I have Tennessee. I think Tennessee is trying to change the culture here. So this guy is not Vrabel. He's kind of the polar opposite of Vrabel. So they have the idea, like many of us do, that the league has transitioned to an offensive-minded league. And so they go from the disciplined, tough, hard-nosed defense to the explosive, let's be like Cincinnati of last year and score 30 points and put the ball in the air. So we'll see. Can he control a locker room? These are all unproven, but it's not the most experienced candidate that always is the best candidate. It's the intangibles, and it's about having the right system in place and having the right person, the right GM, and the right backing for that coach to thrive in this environment. We'll see. I think he's I think he's the biggest unknown out of this group, and we'll see what happens.
All right, who's got Radio Raheem Morris? I had it. Does anyone else want to take it, or I could quick do it?
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. Radio Raheem there. He's been head coach for 3.5 seasons in his tenure. He's a great defensive coordinator. But in every year he's been head coach, he has come in last in his division, with the exception of 1 year. In Tampa Bay, he was 3-13, 10-6, and 4-12. The 10-6, he came in third in the NFC South. And he was interim head coach of Atlanta after they fired Dan Campbell, and he went 4-7. I know he's been on a lot of people's radars, and maybe he's kind of changed things, but I don't understand. They already had him in 2020, and they let him go. But now they're bringing him back. It doesn't make much sense to me. I wish him all the luck, but why would you fire the guy who's an interim and then a couple of years later bring him back?
I will say, Sean, to your point, if it's about hiring the right guys around him. If he can just concentrate on head coaching duties and let their coordinators do what they have to do with a team that young, I think it might be successful as long as he's just the head coach.
Okay. He's got some tools.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Carolina, also one of mine. Does anyone else want to take Carolina, or you want me to?
I'll take him.
Okay, go for it.
I love this. I love this hire. After what he just did with Baker Mayfield in Tampa, basically like reviving his career. And then you look at Bryce Young, like if there's, anyone that needs a strong quarterback-minded coach, it's Bryce Young. And I really look forward to seeing what he could do with them. Whether or not it works is yet to be seen. But again, using the phrase on paper, I think I've said that like 15 times this podcast. But it was a smart hire based on his resume and what he's done with young quarterbacks. So I like it. I think it's good.
I got to agree, because since 2018, the worst he was quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator. The worst his team has ever finished in the top 32 is 10. And that was twice. This year with Tampa and in 2021. But otherwise, he was 4th, 5th, and 6th. He revived Geno Smith, and with Bryce Young being in there, if he could just concentrate on getting that set, he doesn't have a first-round pick this year, so he's kind of behind the ball. It's going to take a couple of years, but I think this was a home run of a pick for head coach.
I believe Carolina has money to spend in free agency, though, so
they do. They don't have picks, but they got. Yep. All right, so who's got Seattle?
I got him. I'm a Ravens fan. I don't like him leaving, but this is a slam dunk hire. It's probably the hire of the cycle for me. And the reason why I say he's the hire of the cycle because all the young defensive pieces that he has there in Seattle. The only question mark I have is Jamal Adams going to buy in to what he's putting down? Because Jamal Adams could take on the Kyle Hamilton type of role if he buys into it. Now he's not going to get a lot of interceptions or whatever it may be, but he needs to be the guy. Hey, we need to send 5. You need to be that 5th rusher. If he takes on that role and hones in on it, I think Seattle could turn around and do something really, really special when it comes down to contending for that division against San Francisco. The only thing I'm gonna ask is who is going to be his OC, and that OC I think it's Shane Moore or something like that. If it's him, you got to get the offense going because again the defense is not going to be able to keep you abreast every game. So.
All right. And last but not least, I think David took this one. Los Angeles.
Yep, I got Los Angeles. Again, this was another one of those. If he was going to be hired in the NFL, this is where he was going to end up. And he doesn't have a staff yet. He doesn't have the OC. Doesn't have the defensive coordinator yet. But look at you have a quarterback like Justin Herbert. You have the talent offensively. You have an overpaid, aging defense. You're gonna bring in pieces. I think Los Angeles is another team with the expiring contracts. I think they have money on the books that they can go out and get a couple people. But more importantly, this hire is just about fulfilling Justin Herbert's potential. The guy was drafted to be the next Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, whatever anybody wanted to compare him to. And that team has underachieved for the 3 years Justin Herbert's been in the league. They went out, they made the big name hire for obvious reasons. And I think it's a great hire for Los Angeles. I want to see what his staff looks like and what they do free agency wise. But again, this guy's slam dunk hire.
It's la big names, big city, perfect hire.
Yeah. So he does have his offensive coordinator is Greg Roman.
Oh, he did hire Greg Roman?
He did.
And I love the fact that he's in the AFC West, as far away from my AFC East as he can get.
Well,
Yeah, he's in the tough division.
I can tell you right now, if they hired Greg Roman, look for a splash at running back.
They're talking about Saquon Barkley.
I've heard that rumor.
I don't know if they let him go. I don't know if they franchise tag him in New York.
I think they gave him, I think, a 1 year. They didn't, so they could tag him again this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's going to piss off Saquon, but because they want trade value for him.
Can't help it.
But I wouldn't blame Saquon for saying, "Hey, fuck you, I ain't playing."
I could see a running back if Saquon gets. I could see a running back like Joe Mixon.
JD, was Greg Roman there when Flacco was there?
No.
Nope. He came after Flacco lost his job.
Okay. Greg Roman was in Buffalo when Flacco was there.
All right. Well, I'll tell you guys, I'm proud of all of us. We had 10 minutes to get through 8 teams, and it's 7:59, and we can close down the program on time. We got 45 seconds to spare.
Okay, let me talk to Eric. Now, Eric, I'm not going to talk to Eric.
Yeah.
David Andrew Lodick, I will beat you senseless.
I'm not going to do it. I said I wasn't going to talk about him on this show. Not tonight.
I will. Give me 30 seconds. I'll talk about Eric. I know enough.
Hey, listen, thanks, Sarah and Trey. You guys were awesome.
Thanks for having us.
sending you guys some T-shirts. You guys are welcome on any time. And for those of you that are still here in the final 10 seconds of our show, we love you. We do this for you. Tell your friends to subscribe. More people on YouTube. Come on.
I got people coming.
Subscribe, like, share, hit that little notification button, the little bell, and it'll tell us tell you when you get content from us, because we will be putting content up here on our page, on our group page. We want to hear more from you. We want to have these comments coming in, because this is our inaugural show on here, so some people might not have seen before, but this show really is about you guys and us interacting with you and taking your questions and helping you and having our debates and having debates off of what questions you ask. And so we want you to come back. Please come back. Tell your friends. Subscribe, like, share.
All that.
So again, from all of us at the couch, we want to thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time. We'll be talking about post-Super Bowl hangover that Sarah's going to have when San Francisco doesn't score less than 30.
And Dave will be topless. Hopefully that doesn't scare people off.
Oh, yeah, I'll try not to scare you all away.
I need the little bit of vision I have left. I'm not going to be here.
Listen, it's just nothing more than a furry vest. That's all I'm telling you.
Oh, God. Oh, it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
It's okay. It's going to snow here this week, so he'll have the high beams on. We'll be good.
Unless Sean told me I had to come topless and shave my chest, then, but he didn't specify that. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Thank you, Trey, Sarah, for coming on, playing Jeopardy. We love doing that. Eric, y'all be good. Sean, KD, we'll see you next week.
All right. Good night.